So, do you find yourself struggling with money or abundance of any kind? You know, broke spiritual people are not nearly as effective as abundant ones. In fact, we've been told that it's not spiritual to have money or abundance of any kind. I'm going to talk to you today in this success series that I post once a week about all those areas of our lives that are outside of spirituality but really aren't. Everything's connected. You can live an amazing, abundant life. We're going to talk about career, relationships, money, all these things that we hold back on that we think is separate from spirituality. And I'm going to tell you right now, you are limitless. We're going to talk about this every week. I hope you'll join me for the Success Series. We're going to talk about money and spirituality today. You don't need to be broke. Come join me right now. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. I'm growing my hair out. I get bored easily. You know, that is a sign of an entrepreneur. What is that? We have a little bit of what people will name as ADD, and I call it a dynamic disposition, right? Do you have that? You might have the ADD entrepreneurial syndrome, but maybe you're not applying it. What stops you from going into this amazing space of abundance? You are a limitless light being. We all came here as that. We must start recognizing that if we truly want to tap into our power. Now, a lot of us go into meditation and spirituality and awakening, and then we look at this other thing and go, I shouldn't be looking at money because that's wrong. That's not spiritual. And it's my parents told me that, you know, you be pious and all this other stuff. Sure, because, you know, in the past, the structures were saying, work hard, never get divorced, and give us all your money. In other words, we all have to stay in our little boxes all the time, and so we feel guilty if we go outside of any of that. And of course, that has been reinforced throughout the centuries. Why? Because it helps those in power to remain there. We're done with that. We're all powerful. We are equally powerful, amazing, perfect light beings. It always was who you were. It always will be who you are. This is just an experience. Just an experience. It's a pretty challenging one. You know what? When we were over there, we were thinking, piece of cake. I'm going to come over and I'm going to nail this. And you're, oh my God, what did I get into? Well, let's go back to what we really are, limitless. Now, being human means that you actually chose a role in a dense existence. You chose a dense energy field. We're not going to get around that one, all right? So it's not that you move past it. You can. It's possible to do that as a human being before you die. Nobody really dies, but you know, when you transition. However, we want to experience being human. We want to experience what is it like to feel lost, because we don't experience that on the other side. Have you ever met any dead relatives over on the other side? Have you ever noticed they're not like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. Humans do that. They're like, go back. It's not your time. You'll see me again. They're off gardening. My grandma was gardening. That's what she did here. But she was like, bye. Like, aren't you happy to see me? No, you go live your life. I'll see you in a nanosecond, right? They're done with the density. They don't have loss. They don't experience loss. They don't experience sadness or anger. They experience none of that. So when they're over there, they're so happy and amazing. We're going to go to that pretty darn soon. So, and I don't mean like the end of the world. I mean that, you know, being human, we're not here that long. Even if you live to be 100 years old, that's pretty quick in infinity. So enjoy this time here. Enjoy the feelings that you cannot experience as the light being that you are. The density allows us to go into that. Now, what happens is the ego, the lowest frequency, grew and grew and grew, hoarding, power in a negative way, money in a negative way. So we see that. And of course, those powers have convinced us that it's bad to have money, and they pretty much demonstrate that. And then you have other people who flourished, who do amazing things, but we never seem to focus on them. I'm here to tell you right now, there is nothing wrong with abundance of any kind. In fact, that's exactly what you should be going for in your lifetime, is abundance. Because when you have abundance, you're powerful. Because you, as a spiritual person, will use it for amazing things. So being broken spiritual doesn't help you. Get that out of your head. And then, of course, I have people that they find out I charge for stuff. Oh, do you work for free? You know, of course I do. You know, we live in a monetary system, but then it's like, oh, she's a spiritual teacher and she's charging, or she does these business courses and she charges. This is this cray-cray thing. But then we say it's okay for everybody else out there to do this. But if you're spiritual, I'm telling everybody what you're doing. And so that's a lack mentality. So when somebody says that, I know that they are probably financially struggling because they resent other people who charge for things. They are judging other people. If somebody charges you for something you don't want to pay for, just don't buy it. There's no judgment there. You're going to have people that use money in negative ways and those who share it. Focus on the sharing and go into things. I am so happy to reward people with money that give me value. And that's that equal high frequency exchange. All right? Now, if you are in a lower I'll give you an example, because you guys know I do internet marketing. I have a whole platform that I'm involved with that teaches people how to create online businesses. Why do I believe so strongly with that? Because it empowers them to go do things. Now, they can use that to do negative things, all right? Or they can do good things. It's irrelevant to me. I'm just empowering people to make their own choices. Now there are people out there who will use that power to try to get people to pay them for false promises. That's their juju. That's their karma. All right, I'm not here to judge that. I know that when I offer things, it's because I genuinely think I'm going to help people. And if I charge for that, yay! That's my abundance, and they are getting an equal exchange of something I think is really amazing, whether it's my spiritual teachings or my business teachings. So we're going to talk about that as we go through this series, because these are things that you can actually do for yourself. Any kind of passion that you have. It's okay to get paid for that. Teachings. So what does it do for you? It allows you to be stable and focus on the things that will expand into abundance for all people, right? If I have nothing, then I can't give anything. So what I want to do is go into that space where I'm doing things on a high frequency. So the funny thing is, most people that are criticizing people who do charge for stuff, they'll go to work to a chemicals plant or a fast food place or something else, and they don't think that way. So we got to start clearing out all of the conditioning of what things are, and know that you are an unlimited light being. You chose a human experience. You're going to experience it. Don't fight it, but don't react to the negative experiences. So when you feel certain things out there, you don't have to react negatively to it. So money, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. So I'm going to use this as a positive thing. When you see something bad happen, let's say you see an abuse of something. So instead of saying, oh, that's negative, say, I'm going to use it to become powerful to do something really good for that person. I'm going to assist them in some way. You know, any situation is an opportunity to shift and turn it into a higher frequency. And that's how money works, and that's how everything works. Your relationships, everything. I'm going to go into this relationship and bad things are happening, unpleasant things. I'm learning what this is. I'm going to experience it, and I'm going to flip it into something amazing. I'm going to love myself from this. I'm going to go into a respectful relationship. And then you shift into that higher frequency. So there's nothing wrong with relationships aren't bad. Just the relationship you were in was unpleasant, but there's a learning in that. So you're going to shift it into something positive. Money's the same thing. The job isn't bad. You're just realizing this isn't the job that I want. So I'm going to shift it and say, okay, now I know what I don't want or who I don't want to work with. I'm not going to resent or chastise anybody. I'm going to say, thank you. I can't know contrast until I know the other side of it, right? You can't know light until you go to the darkness. What's light? If you've never seen darkness, nobody could possibly explain it to you if you've never known anything but light. And we are experiencing the darkness here. Now, so let's go into and say every single thing is a positive step, potentially, for me. I can turn everything around. There's a solution for every problem. That's fun, isn't it? There's a issue. It's like, okay, I know I can change this. I know I hold that power. You have to believe that first. Now, if if you're into my Manifest Anything series, it's down in the description. You can sign up for that down in the description or on landriaonkka.com. That's my spiritual site. That's where I have my teachings. You can go into this free video series, and every week I give you a video. The first one I say, if you don't believe you have the power, you can sit there and manifest all you day, and it's not going to go into the desire. It's not going to shift into what you desire. It's going to go into the doubt and the failures and the brokenness and all that stuff. So you have to know you hold this power. I'm here to tell you, you hold the power. There's only one energy. There's only one thing, and everything is it. It just is an expression of that one energy. So if that is the energy that creates universes and quasars and black holes and suns, then guess what you are? You're part of all of that, and that's unlimited. And it's creating things way beyond what we think is the universe. Then it goes into a space that's just so mind-blowing, humans can't comprehend it. So when you look out into that space in the night sky and you see those stars, be amazed. That's the power of the one, and it is you. Do you think you're limited about making money or having at least a job you love? It's not just about making the money. It's about loving what you do and knowing that it feels right and good. Serving yourself and others in a most positive way. Being rewarded financially. If a lot of money is your goal, do it in the highest frequency. That's what counts. Money isn't evil. So can we get past this? I'm going to keep doing more of these because I want to help you recognize those feelings that come in. You may be self-sabotaging. That's going to be our next video. Oh, the self-sabotage of the most amazing people. Blows my mind. We're clearing it all out. We're going into an era that's going to blow your mind, but not if you don't choose it. All right, so please subscribe. Once a week is my success series, and then up here is my landriaonkka.net site. That is where we train people on how to get past their limits. It's not a spiritual training. Get past the limits to become entrepreneurs, to go start businesses online. And all the training, business from scratch, they show you absolutely everything and supply all the tools to build websites, e-commerce, anything you want. You get to choose it. So if you're interested in that, go here. New platforms are being launched right now that are unbelievable. And accelerating that success, like, okay, let's take the steps. Let's not just sit and talk about it. How do you do it? We'll help you get there. You'll have mentors, trainers, step-by-step training of all kinds that you just go do it if you want to do that. And if not, go find that thing that you feel really good about, because when you're passionate about something, you'll go after it more than just a concept of something that sounds great. All right, so we're going to talk about self-sabotage. We're going to talk about passion. Stay tuned. This is never ending, right? I'm going to be here until I take my last breath as a human, and then who knows what I'm going to do on the other side. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, you are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Please share these videos and inspire others too. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.